I'm not your child. I'm Cameroonian. If I want to kill you, I kill you right now. Hello, my crisis lovers. How are you? Okay, I'm coming from work, so I'm not cute. I know I'm supposed to be cute on YouTube if you want people to see you, but I mean, this video is helpful for other people, so if you want, share it and like it, because you know how YouTube works. If you don't like the video, I have less people seeing it, and if less people are seeing it, then you don't see. Anyway, like the video. Thank you. Even if you don't like it, like the video. It's free for you. Anyway, I've been here in Australia for a little bit of time, right? Even before our friend coronavirus came and destroyed everything. But I mean, he's destroying the entire planet, so... he's not destroying actually the planet, he's just destroying the human system. Yeah, so anyway, that's not the subject. So today I'm gonna speak about my experience in Australia. I have to tell you something. When you're living in France, right? I have to be honest, 90% of my friends who came to Australia were white. Okay, so when I describe to you Australia is amazing, people are very nice, you're gonna find a job very easily, whatever, blah, 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 blah. First of all, when I came to Australia, I wasn't living in the black people area. Yes, I was in the city because for me it was easy. I was like, yeah, if I have to find a job, I have to find a job where it's busy. In the city it's busy. And then slowly I realized that 90.9% of my people were outside of the city anyway, and they were working in those factory and other stuff. So you will never see them in the city anyway. So even in restaurant and stuff, you will never see them. If you want to see them working in the city, it will be like young people working for McDonald's and stuff like that, like fast food. And until they are 17, and when you're 17, they don't keep you anyway because they have to pay you more when you're older. So you don't see black people in the area. But at the time I was like, yeah, maybe people are, a little bit scared or whatever. And you also have problem about the community here because, like I said, 90%, 80% of the people are Sudanese. And then you have a little bit of other minorities, like African people. Yeah, because Africa is not a country, in case for those who are not black in the back. Yes, Africa is not a country, it's a continent. So you have countries around there, yeah. So a lot of black people that you have here are Sudanese, so they come here as refugee, so automatically they are citizen. Yeah, so as a citizen in Australia, if you don't work, the government gives you money, help you to survive. So at the end of the day, you're fine. Like right now, it's already fine for the Australian citizen because they are paid by the government even if they stay home. Not too much, but they are still able to survive. You see what I mean? Ooh, I have a message. Sorry guys, I'm filming with my phone because I'm lazy. I don't want to put the camera on and whatever. And my roommate is cooking, so I take that time to do this video. So, what happened was, I've been here since December. So let's say Décembre, Janvier, Février, Mars, Avril, Mai, Juin, Juillet, Août, Septembre. So now it's gonna be like 10 months at the end of this month because we are in September. And I realized that the entire time I've been struggling. Like, I didn't have any legal job, like working in any jobs, because fast food, like I said, it's only for young people. Like, usually the people who I spoke to were thinking I was like, let's say 19. So they used to say, oh yeah, we can take you. And then they realized I wasn't that young, so they never called me back. So that was the first thing. And then second of all, most of the restaurants want you to actually have experience working in the restaurant. And because I'm not a liar, that was also complicated. And then at the end of the day, let's say until March, I was staying, like I found like a kind of small things I could do under the table, having a cash on hands very fast just to pay the rent, and not finishing all my money, all my savings. But at the end of the day, I was still using my savings for stuff. So slowly I was losing money. So in March, I was like, okay, I don't have that much money anymore and I don't want to finish all the money in my bank account. So let's say I will go to the farm. First big mistake. I get to the farm and then I realize one thing. It's actually slavery, my friend. Because first of all, Australian people don't work in the farm, they own the farm. And they put people from outside of Australia to work over there. So you have a lot of backpackers working there. So if you're physically strong, you have muscle, good for you. You can do actually cash. But the way it's done, it's slavery. So the farm where I was, it was only like black people, and people wasn't allowed to work. So you had to full one bean, very big bean, like level was like from the floor to here, very big, right? And when you actually work or you used to go and buy food, you know that to full that with vegetables, they will have at least $100 from those vegetables when they sell it, right? So to full it, when it's full, they pay you $2 for one. Yeah, $2. And I was doing tomatoes actually. So for tomatoes, you full. Oh my God, English is so hard. Yeah. So you have to put as much tomatoes as possible in that thing, right? For $2. So in 2 days, I did $24. I gave up. Because I know some people, when they do fruit or some other stuff, they're able to do at least 100, 180 in 1 day. Very good, but tomatoes, really don't do it. If you're not small, because I'm tall. If you're tall, don't do tomatoes, first of all. And second of all, to be real with you, it's only people outside of Australia who do those works. Because like it's under the table, you don't have taxes on it, and easy cash when you're fast, right? They didn't took me. The second week, I was like, look, you know what? I'm gonna call my friend. I had a guy that I thought was my friend who sent me there. Then I call him. I'm like, your friend is a trash, and he's using those people who came here from Africa who don't even have the right to work. Anyway, so I call him. He's like, oh look, I will send you to my mother-in-law. You're gonna stay there, and maybe they're gonna find you a job. I'm like, okay, no problem. The rent was very cheap, but the problem was at the same time my stuff was staying still in the city, so I still had to pay the rent over there too, right? So after 2 weeks, I'm like, I'm still not finding any job, blah 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, you know what? I will go in the city. I have maybe an opportunity to find a job in a shop. That was before our coronavirus started freaking everything. I said freaking because I don't want to say the other word, okay? Then I come back to the city. I try the job. I apply for it. But then I understand that everything is gonna close anyway. They're gonna do a lockdown. All the shops are closing. It was a video game shop, that like my dream job, perfect for me. No struggle, easy peasy. So they didn't took me for that shop. And then after, they said, oh, maybe we will send you to a shop near where you're living, because maybe they're looking for someone. And at the time, the government said we're gonna like close the country. Everything's gonna close. I was here with friends, yeah. And it was during the period of my birthday. All my friends left the week of my birthday. Yes, I let you imagine how I felt, right? So you didn't find any job until now, and you alone in the middle of a country who's not helping you at all. Like, I have to be honest with you. Every time I applied, people are like, oh yeah, your resume is very good, blah blah blah. And then when I come back, I see someone else in the shop who wasn't working there before. Cute blondie. You see what I mean? You know what I mean. You know exactly what I mean. So I realized slowly that maybe I should speak to my people outside of the city to understand what's going on. And then they'll explain it to me that most of the black people work in like factories and stuff like that. Like, to work in the city is very complicated, even if you're educated. And I was like, okay, I see. So then, with connection, I finally started working in one shop, African shop, selling hair, food, African food and stuff like that. And of course, I was underpaid, of course, because it's not funny if it's not the case. And then, what happened? Oh yeah, he was supposed to pay me every 2 weeks. And then, one day, he said to me, you see the cash in the shop? One man is gonna come and you give all of it to him. And I was like, yeah, but remember you pay me cash. So if you give this guy all the cash, so that means this week you're not gonna pay me, because it was the week he was supposed to pay me. And he said, I don't want to speak about it right now, I'm busy. Okay, so 2 weeks without being paid. And I was just like, I paid my phone like the week before. So I didn't have that much money anymore. So I needed some money because I wanted to pay my flight back to France. And the guy is like, oh, I don't want to speak about it right now. I was like, okay, fine. Do you, boo? But after 1 week, so right now it's 3 weeks, I'm like, look, I text him, I'm like, look, I checked the flight to go back to France, the prices are getting higher, maybe it's better for me to take it now, so can you send me through your bank account, so it's from your bank account to my bank account, so that I can pay my flight back, because it's getting higher, right? Because the guy wasn't in the city anymore. He left the city. When the lockdown started, he was like, no, I'm going to the countryside. I don't want to stay here. He was working with his wife in a farm, whatever. I'm like, so I'm managing the shop all by myself. Okay. And the guy paid me $100 per day. Yeah. And the average salary in Australia, it's at least 180. I'm saying the minimum when you're 17. So I was at least at 200 minimum. I'm like, okay, fine. I do my best. So I text him. When I text him, the guy's like, you know what? From now on, you're gonna work 3 days a week. I was working before that 6 days a week. So that was just because I asked him to pay me, like the money he owns me, right? The guy's like, yeah, I keep the shop open just to help you, you know? I was like, okay, good. I took the cash off the shop because at the time, like 1 week was already done. I took the cash from the shop and I paid the rest with what I had in my bank account. So I took my flight, okay? The guy came to the shop after that argument, whatever. I wasn't speaking to him anymore. He came, he gave me the money he owed me and left with his wife. Fine, perfect, no problem, no argument, I'm fine. And then today, the guy called me. Tell me, because usually you have some people outside of Melbourne, because here I'm in Melbourne, but some people outside of Melbourne sometimes asks from him to him some produce, African produce, that he send them through the post office, okay? So I'm the one preparing the boxes. He asked me, you know, the box you did like 3 days ago, did the post office guy came to take it? I was like, yeah, he came, he took it. And then he tell me, by the way, remember I told you you're gonna work only 3 days now? Actually, I changed my mind. You're gonna work tomorrow. He called me at 6 p.m. So I'm not working anymore, right? So I'm not even forced to answer the call, right? And I'm like, look, you did that once. You decide to change your mind in the middle of the thing. Like, from now on, you're gonna be paid. I'm like, this is not how it works. The guy started yelling at me. I'm like, first of all, you're smaller than me, so you calm down. And I'm a woman, so if you want someone to scream, I'm gonna scream. So I start screaming at him, like, you go down right now. I'm not your child. I'm Cameroonian. If I want to kill you, I kill you right now. So you go down, okay? And I explained to him, first of all, you pay me under the normal level of in Australia. I've been working in this shop. You change your mind every 5 minutes. And like, you had some stuff happening in the shop, and he's very disrespectful when he speaks to you. Like, I don't want to speak to you too much. Like, piece of, you know. And I was like, okay, you don't speak to me like this. You change your mind 2 times. From now on, like today, tomorrow I have something to do, okay? And next week, because he said 3 days a week, right? I'm not supposed to work. Monday and Tuesday, I took those days to do something. So I'm not gonna change my mind just for you, right? I'm organizing my life through what you said, right? Last week you said I work only 3 days. And from that, I'm looking stuff, like doing stuff. Because on my side, I was already looking for other jobs to be able to have some savings to live, you know. But now you block everything. I'm like, no. This is not how it works. And the guy's like, you know what? From now on, I close the shop. So because I said to the guy, you're not going to change every 5 minutes your plan. Like, tomorrow I have something to do. I'm doing the thing I said I'm going to do. I said to people, yes, I'm available. I'm going to do it for you. And now you call me and say, right now for tomorrow morning, I'm working. No. That's not how it works. So the guy decided, because I said that it's not normal, he closed the shop. So from now on, I don't have a job. I have only one job. I'm a YouTuber without enough subscriber to be paid. Isn't that great? Anyway, that's my situation right now. But strangely, I'm not angry. I used to be angry about all of this. Because yeah, I have to be honest with you. Discrimination here is serious. It's not the same level as America, right? Because I was in America. It's not the same level. But it's there. At least it's higher than in France. It's clearly higher than in France. It's so much higher than in France, yeah. So, if you're black, and you want to come to Australia, take your time. If you don't have a job before coming here, like having a contract, being sure you have a job, don't come here. I'm sorry. Or come here for holidays, enjoy the country, maybe 1 month, 2 months, go back. I'm sorry. Oh, and you're gonna work like a slave also. Like, working condition is not amazing. You don't have the limits like in France. Like in France, you can't work more than 10 hours a day. Some people do like 14 hours and it's great, it's fine. And if you say no, the company thank you and say, find another job. So, nah, friends. Australia is not at the level of America, but it's not that great. And maybe one day I will speak about the situation of Aboriginals here. The level of disrespect is so high. The level of discrimination is so high. And they act like, yeah, we are trying. We do our best to help them. Human beings. Anyway, I think I'm gonna stop this video here because a lot of people are gonna be angry at this. I hope Australian people are not gonna see this, but I understand now Aboriginals. I understand them and I'm so sorry for them. Anyway, maybe I will do a story about it if you want to. Don't hate me too much. Don't. But I had to be honest, right? Non-white people, Australia is not for you. Australia is great. It's a very beautiful country for holidays. Come for holidays. You will like it. Or investment if you want to buy like apartments and stuff. It's also great. But for the rest, stay where you are. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that video. I wish you the best. Wish me the best. I hope I'm gonna survive this because I have to stay here until the 1st of December. I'm going back the 1st of December. So, wish me the best until then. And I wish you the best. Give you love, happiness, and everything. I will be fine. Don't worry. Maybe I will do a second part to let you know what happened after this. But love you guys. May the crafts be with you.